Hi guys, I'm here with Quincy. Quincy has successfully completed his level 1 account. He's now trading a level 2 account, and I'm very happy to have him here with me. So Quincy, how are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Great. Quincy, please tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? How long have you been trading?
Okay, all right. So as you said, my name is Quincy, and I'm originally from New York. I was born and raised in New York, and I recently just moved to Florida after I got out the military. And I'd say I've been trading for roughly about 17 years. The first 10 years or so, I wasn't really taking it that seriously. I was just dabbling in and out of the markets. But the last 7 years or so, I really got serious. And during my time in the military, I had saved up, a good amount of money so I can open up a Forex brokerage account and, really get serious into the markets and, do my thing. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Great. So I want to share with everyone your account so everyone can see your performance on your level 1 account, and we can have some insights from it. So first of all, I would like to say that you didn't pass the level 1 account in your first try, in your first attempt. You had some attempts before, some tries before, which is very important for everyone to hear, because everyone thinks that at the first try it's very easy to just pass and complete, and reality is different. So can you tell us, please, what do you do before and what do you change in order to eventually succeed on your level 1 account?
Okay, so first, just to say that I previously failed the attempts twice. One of them was just, basically not following my rules of my system and deviating and using a lot of discretion where I shouldn't really be doing that. And and as you know, when you keep doing that, eventually you get burned, and then you pass that point of no return, and then it's game over. And the second one wasn't so much that I did anything wrong. It was just it happened during the time of the coronavirus, and I had some family issues that I had to take care of. So I wasn't really, actively trading, and then it just expired. And yeah, that's basically the second one. And quick story though, just to show what you guys are all about. That second one that it expired, it expired in profit, and I literally forgot all about that account and was not even thinking about it. And randomly one day in my email, I see that it said, "Oh, you got to pay out from the fibers in your PayPal account." And I was like, "Oh." So already before I even complete the evaluation, I'm already getting paid from you guys. And I'm like, okay, these guys definitely are legit. So that's just a little interesting story there.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's your money, you earn it, so you deserve it.
Yeah.
And okay, so what's your strategy? What you did differently so you eventually, I know, you can see your growth chart here. It's very impressive. It's just higher lows, correct, all the way to the target.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So, all right. So to go into details about my, trading style, trading methodology, whatnot, um, I would describe my trading style as a hybrid of trend following and swing trading.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is so you think of your classical trend following trader as someone who follows four main principles. And I'm not saying these are the only principles, but these four main principles that they like to follow, which is we are directionally agnostic, meaning that we're not trying to predict where price is going to go. Our only objective is just to follow price where it does go. And secondly, we trail it with a trailing stop loss. So we're not trying to predict where it's going to go. We're not trying to forecast anything, and we're not trying to do any sort of analysis. And secondly, we trail it with a trailing stop loss. Third, we don't put any take profits on our orders because we don't want to limit our upside potential. Now obviously we put a stop loss and we trail it because we want to limit our downside potential, but we don't put any take profit orders on our orders because we don't want to limit our upside potential. And lastly, we trend followers tend to de-emphasize their entries and put more time, energy, and focus on your exits. Not to say that entries aren't important, but you want to focus more of your time and effort on managing your exits in the grand scheme of things. So so as I said in the beginning, I'm a hybrid of a trend follower and a swing trader. And the reason why I say that is over time I kind of grew frustrated with just being a pure raw trend follower, because anybody who has done that before, they know what I'm about to say. They can attest to this. As a trend follower, you're going to have one of three things happen to you constantly, 90% of the time. You're going to have price reverse and hit your trailing stop loss, and you're going to get stopped out for either a small profit, break even, or small loss. And that gets frustrating over time to be dealing with that week in, week out. And psychologically, it's tough. Now, if you're like a large hedge fund or a CTA or something like that, it's not a big deal. You live for those moments. You're waiting for that 10% of the time when market skyrockets and you just bank the profits. Because you're dealing with a much larger outlook time frame horizon. You're dealing with in quarterly and annual basis. But for us small retail traders, it's very frustrating. So I wanted to set out to see if I could not necessarily like change my approach entirely, but see if I could do like maybe some tweaks or modifications. So, after doing just a little bit of research, doing some reading, listening to interviews of people's opinions that I respect. The most common advice was to have profit targets, where when price is going in my favor, right, have profit targets set up along the way that each time price gets there, you start scaling out of the position a little by little. So you have, your profit target one, you close out some of the position partially, your profit target two, close out some more, profit target three, close out some more, and on and on and on. You keep doing that until you get to your lowest allowable trade and lot size that's allowed by your platform, in which, our case, it's MetaTrader 4, so the lowest would be 0.01 lots. Right. And when you get to that, you allow that to run indefinitely until the trend eventually reverses and takes out your trailing stop loss. So that, in a nutshell, is how I would describe my strategy. And so you kind of see the elements of swing trading and trend following in it, which is why I say it's like a hybrid. You take your profits like a typical swing trader, but you leave some of your positions still in the market. That way, if you're in a strong trend, you're still capitalizing on that. Amazing. So, yeah, so basically, that's essentially how I would describe. That's the way I've been trading for the past few years. That's the way I traded to pass the evaluation, and that's the way I plan on trading for the foreseeable future until I, stumble upon something better, I guess.
Yeah, that's amazing. If we analyze your stats, your performance, you have relatively, a few trades. You're not over trading or something. You passed level one with only 89 trades, and this is very interesting. You have a win rate of 50, 50-50, and we're told all the time that we need a positive win rate and a positive risk reward ratio, which in your case, you prove us that with a break-even win rate, as long as you keep your risk reward ratio high, your system is profitable.
Yes, pretty much. And that's just a byproduct of the trend following system, where it's because the take profit is essentially, you always leave a position there so that it can just keep running. So because your upside potential and your downside potential are kind of asymmetrical, at the end of the day, it should eventually play out where your average winner should always be more than your average losers.
Correct. So yeah, so exciting. So you complete you're just now starting your level 2 account. I guess you will get paid soon for your first account, and you will keep doing the same on your level 2 account, or what's the plan?
Oh yeah, pretty much. The same exact strategy that I used on the evaluation account is exactly what I'm going to be doing on the level 2 account. No deviations whatsoever. I mean, I already learned my lesson from the the first failure account. So
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're human. It'll creep back in every so once in a while. You just only hope that you don't get burnt too badly. You know, a loss as a result of a bad process every so once in a while, it's probably good sometimes because it just reminds you of, okay, you know, get back on track. You know, don't deviate from the plan. You know,
Right.
and the important thing is the one important thing though is to always maintain your risk level. So I never go more than 0.5% risk on each trade. Now, that's what it starts off at. But because I'm always trailing my stops, it always eventually gets lower over time. So I can start off with a zero point 0.5 risk, but more times than not, price is going in my direction, and then that just lowers to a lower risk over time.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice risk management technique. So, Quincy, just you know, your a few words, your overall experience with the fibers, and maybe an advice or a tip would you like to share with the traders who are watching this video?
Well, my experience has been great so far. I really have no complaints. For me, this is, you know, almost like a dream come true because years back, I used to always, you know, dream of potentially trading for a prop firm. I mean, the way I envisioned it was a little bit different a few years back. I envisioned that I was probably going to go into an office every day and trade from their office and then come back home. But
Yeah.
I'm certainly not complaining being able to do it from home. I mean, it's I'm definitely not gonna complain about that. And as far as like tips, well, you know, the old cliches, risk management, patience, um, it's really true. And what was the other one that you wanted me to comment on? You said tips and what else?
An advice. I mean, I could help you with this one. Your average trade length is like um, almost 2 days. So you really
Yeah,
try to, you know,
I'm not surprised by that because, like I said, uh, I have trend following principles that's embedded in my strategy. So if a strong trend is going, I'm not gonna entirely get out of the position. I'm just gonna milk it for all it's worth and, you know, let the market give me what it wants to. So I'm not surprised that the average trade length is so high, you know.
yeah, amazing. So anything else you want to add? Just, you know, final words.
um I mean, if anybody is, you know, watching this interview, I just, you know, just keep at it. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. That's for certain. As I said in the beginning, I've been trading for 17 years, but you know, the first 10 years I don't really count it so much because I was just dabbling in and out. But the last 7 years, though, that's when I started, you know, putting my head down and saying, you know what, maybe I could, you know, make a career out of this or something like that. And you know, that's when the learning process really began. But it does take time, though, and you know, you just don't know what you just don't know. So you have to just go through it and experience it. You can hear all the best advice in the world right now, but if you haven't been through those fires and those, you know, bad experiences, those words mean nothing in the moment until you've gone through it yourself for the first time.
Correct. Yeah, it is a process. We need to remember that.
Definitely. And it's like I have a friend that also is trying to trade also too. And you know, he's been doing it for, you know, maybe a year or two. And I try to let him know that, you know, think of this as like a profession. You know, someone's not going to be a doctor in 6 months to a year. They go through a long process to become a doctor. You know, first they go, you know, they go to a typical college and do something like, you know, biology, then pre-med, then they do residency and all that stuff. So you have to look at it from that perspective that you're not just going to get into this profession and be a superstar overnight.
Correct. Yeah. Great advice. Just to remember it's a process and it takes time, and have the realistic expectations of the markets.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. And realistic expectations come from back testing. You
Yeah.
know, you have to have an idea of what what to expect, and that comes from back tested. So
Correct. So Quincy, thanks a lot for the interview, for the time, for the good words, and wish you success on your new account, and hopefully to see you soon on your level 3 account.
I hope so too. Thank you.
So have a nice day, Quincy, and thank you very much.
You too, man.
Bye bye.